Hi there everyone, Irish Right Arm here again. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Europe's immigration problems. According to Eurostat, there are almost 22 million non-citizens living in the countries that make up the European Union. 22 million. Now, the left wants to help everyone that's less fortunate. But Europe can't help everyone. If they try, their infrastructures will collapse if they are not careful. This is about numbers. Too many immigrants at a time is bad for the country. In the short term, jobs and services take a hit. Access to food, drinking water, shelter, medical supplies, services will be stressed and fall apart. In the long term, immigrants need to be in small enough numbers to integrate into their new country so they do not radically change the country's culture and identity. Immigrants can keep their original culture, and eventually, in time, they'll melt together with their new country. But there are examples of immigration that will simply not work this way. As an example, let's say Muslim immigrants from a Middle Eastern country go to Germany in too great a number all at once. Their original country is so different, and their culture is so different. It's not good. If an immigrant's values do not coincide with their new country's current population's values, it spells disaster. In Great Britain, France, and Germany, and others in Europe, there's a huge problem with immigrant violence. And part of it is due to the values and the cultures of these immigrants not being compatible with the West. Assault, theft, vandalism, rape, murder, and more. Europe is taking on so many immigrants. How do they know how many of them are criminals or terrorists? They do not know. They don't know. They don't know. Now, there's a difference between political asylum, which is a very small scale issue, real political asylum, where an individual or a family unit is persecuted or threatened by the politicians or the government or the police or the military or somebody in the government. That's what political asylum is, where a family unit or an individual is threatened by the government they live in and they flee that country and they go live somewhere else. They go live anywhere else to try to find a better life. That's political asylum. It's different than economic asylum. Economic asylum doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. Economic immigration is a thing. There's a difference. European countries are being flooded by immigrants. As I said, Europe can't help everyone. I'm all for legal immigration and taking in some people that are fleeing a war-torn country in numbers that are manageable. There's a great YouTube video called Gumball Immigration. You should check it out. It explains about the numbers and about a part of this issue. As I said before, the left wants to help everyone less fortunate. The left wants to govern according to their feelings. I wish that governments would make decisions that are this big by first thinking about the numbers. These problems in Europe are going to happen in the United States. Unless we talk about it, unless we figure out a solution. I don't want people in my country making these kinds of decisions that care more about the rest of the world than they care about Americans. Let's take care of Americans. Let's take care of the world. I'm not an isolationist. I don't believe we should close our borders here in the United States. I think we should help the world. But there's only so much one country can do. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm the Irish Right Arm. You might agree with me, or you might not, but let's have a conversation. See you next time.